David here with Figboot on Pens, back again with another fountain pen review. Today, I have for you a brand new limited edition pen launching today, if you are watching this the day that I am posting it. It is available exclusively through Goldspot Pens and is the Kaweco Sport Royal Amethyst. What I'm going to do today is go over the parts and features of this colorful offering, talk about what I care for and what I don't care for about it. I'll show some measurements, size comparisons, and provide a writing sample. Thanks go out to the good folks at Goldspot Pens for providing this pen for review. The pen arrives in this standard cardboard box. The more expensive sport models sometimes come in these neat little tins, but these lesser expensive models tend to come in these types of boxes. Inside was a use and care guide, as well as a Kaweco sticker. And then we have the pen. This is the Kaweco Sport Royal Amethyst. As I mentioned, this is a limited edition offering, only available through Goldspot Pens. It's made from a translucent, deep purple injection molded plastic. It has a rather unique look with its long faceted cap and thinner round barrel. When I was starting my pen journey years ago, I would scour all of the top 10 lists I could, thinking that if a pen for beginners showed up on a lot of these lists, then it was probably worthwhile. The Kaweco Sport was one of those pens that showed up on a lot of lists, but I will admit I was a bit hesitant. It took me a while to come around to this rather kind of blocky design aesthetics of this pen. But once I did, I realized why it was included in all of these lists. It's a great little pen. Let's take a look at the parts and features of this pen, starting with the top of the cap. There, it has an inlaid metal coin with the company name. It's divided up into 3 sections like this because the company name is comprised of groups of 2 letters representing the names of the 2 founders of the company. KA for one of the founders and WE for the other. And then CO is for company. And so that's how the company got its name. I'd also like the dimpling behind the letters as well. The end of the cap is round and quickly transitions into the octagonal faceted design. On one of the facets, it says Kaweco Sport, and on the opposite side is Goldspot. These facets actually serve as a nice roll stop to prevent the pen from rolling around when you set it down as well. This is a clipless pen, but you can purchase an optional clip. This is what it looks like once it's installed. And installing it is very simple. You literally just take the clip and slip it down onto the cap, and it's decently secure. I used a clip on my first Kaweco Sport I purchased a long time ago. You can purchase them in either gold or silver. For this model, the gold matches really well with the rest of the gold trim and hardware of this pen. The cap twists off with a single rotation, and underneath we have a gold-plated stainless steel nib. I believe these will be available in extra fine, fine, medium, broad, and double broad, but you should check the Goldspot site just to make sure. And here's a look at the plastic feed. The section is slightly concave and fairly short. It transitions quickly into the cap threads, which are plastic, and I don't find them to be sharp or uncomfortable if your grip should rest on them. With the section being so short, I do find my grip to be in contact with them on a regular basis. The barrel is very short, but for me, it's usable unposted. If I'm just jotting down a quick note or something like that, I'll just use it this way. But this is a pen really designed to use posted. It posts deeply and securely. The additional weight of the cap is really evenly distributed nicely across the back of the pen, and so it doesn't backweight it or throw off the balance. And it's very comfortable in the hand. It is a fairly light pen. This is a cartridge converter pen. It accepts standard international cartridges, one of which is included with the pen. It will not fit a standard international converter, but Kaweco does have these smaller plunger converters, which work well and are available to purchase separately. It's much better than the old aerometric converters that they used to have. And the nice thing is that this will work with many other smaller pocket pens as well. With the pen being made from a solid piece of plastic and with a fairly large barrel capacity, this is a perfect pen to eyedropper. I eyedropper the first Sport I owned and did so for years. The material is a bit translucent so that if you eyedroppered it, you would get a good look at your ink situation. With the purple color of the material, the color of your ink really won't show through, but you'll still be able to see it sloshing around in here. The Kaweco Sport Royal Amethyst is only available to purchase on the Goldspot Pens site. I'll put a link to it in the notes below, as well as links to where you can check out the clips, in addition to the converters. The pen sells for $29. In that price range, the Sport is really one of the best options available. It's nice and compact. It has a unique design that's a bit quirky. It's one of those basically beat around pens that you could do a whole bunch to, and you're really not going to be able to hurt this pen. And it really performs nicely as well. It took me a while to come around to Kaweco Sports, but I'm really glad that I have. They're really solid pens. Okay, now it is time for some measurements, size comparisons, and a writing sample. Here we go with some size comparisons for the Kaweco Sport Royal Amethyst. Actually, before we got started, I want to show you quickly how the clip goes on. It literally just slides on just like that. And it stays on there nicely. And you can see that it is branded and looks nice. And if you choose to not use this as a pocket pen and just put it into a deeper pocket, then this works. If you wanted to have a clip on it, this works really nice. And even though it slides off and slides on, I've never had an issue where it's actually come off while I'm using it. It does a good job of staying on there. But in regard to some size comparisons, this is what it looks like with an AL Sport. The AL Sports are just slightly larger. And then here it is with a Schoen Design Pocket 6. And here it is with an Inso Pocket Piuma. And here it is with a Kaweco Lilliput. And in regard to a couple of larger pens, here it is with a Pelican. I think that's a P200. I believe that's what it is. And then this is a Sailor Pro Gear Slim. And then here it is with an Aurora Optima. And in regard to some uncapped comparisons, I'll actually do it posted since that's how mainly you're using this pen. This is what it looks like with the Lilliput when the Lilliput is posted. And here is the Schoen Design Pocket 6 posted. And then here is just the standard Sailor Pro Gear Slim. So here we go with the writing sample for the Kaweco Sport. And this is the Royal Amethyst. This is a very generous broad nib. And the ink I'm using is one that's been in the pen news lately, which is Lamy Dark Lilac. This is what the color looks like. It is a nice kind of dark saturated purple. It's been in the pen news lately because Lamy has come out with some new purple, and there's been questions whether or not it's the same formula as this older one. I'll let you do the research into that. It's a long story, but suffice to say, there are lots of folks that are excited that it potentially could be coming back because this was a limited release from a number of years ago. This is what it looks like in regard to Diplomat Purple, which is a little more on the plum side. And then here's something from Kaweco, which is their Summer Purple. This is what the Lamy bottles look like. It has a little indentation in the bottom so that the ink goes down there and it's a little bit deeper. So the bottle is more, it's not this shallow. It goes down all of this way. And then they have these nice little, we'll call them little tissues here that you could use to wipe off the nib when you're done. And Lamy makes some great inks. And here we go with the rest of the writing sample. As I mentioned before, this broad nib is very generous. It's not very giving, meaning that you're not going to get a lot of line variation. I was trying to press that hard and it doesn't, it's rather stiff in those regards, but in regard to writing, it is very smooth and very generous in regard to ink flow, in regard to reverse writing. It's a little scratchy, but it does lay down a nice fine line. And in regard to some fast writing, the feed keeps up just well. So here we have the Kaweco Sport Royal Amethyst. As you can see here on the back where it says Goldspot, that is where you could purchase this particular model. Again, I'll put a link in the notes below where you can check out the pen as well as the clip and the converter, which is useful for other pens as well. The Kaweco Sport is a great pen, especially for the price. It's well worth checking out, whether you're a beginner user or an experienced user just wanting a knockabout pen. It's something really that is something that I'm glad that I have in my collection. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.